Good morning, sir. Morning.
Good morning.
So can I have a seat?
Right.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Himani,
Yes, sir.
how are you feeling today?
So cold.
Cold.
Yes, sir.
Young people and cold. Feeling cold or heat is a mental state.
No, sir. I think it's also about weather.
It's about bad weather.
Yes.
It's a bad weather or a happy weather.
So I think that depends person to person.
Somebody would describe it as a season of fruitful mists.
Yes, sir.
Yeah? Who said it?
Sorry, sir.
Who said it?
Sir, I don't know.
Winter is a season of fruitful mists.
No, sir, I'm not.
Okay. So you don't believe in that. Fog is awful thing to have.
Sir, I think it's more about weather. I like summers more.
Okay. You like summers more.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sounds good. So Himani, tell us something about yourself in brief.
Sir, I'm HIMANANI Agarwal. I was born and brought up in Delhi itself. I've completed my schooling from Gyan Bharati School, Saket, and my graduation from Lady Shri Ram College in BCom Honours in the year 2023 itself. I'm interested in reading self-help book and women-centric issues.
Women-centric issues.
Yes.
Interesting. And you're so young, you could have pursued the best B schools, higher education in best B schools or whatever. And you could have made millions.
Yes, sir. But I don't think money is the motivation for me.
But, okay.
Okay.
Then what is the motivation?
Sir, I think the ability to make the impact on the lives of people, which civil services provide an opportunity for.
Civil service
Yes, sir.
provides opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Where are we in the human development indices? Are we among the top 5 countries?
No, sir.
No, we are not.
No, sir.
We still feed 80 crore people with government provided food. So this is what bureaucracy of the country has done to this nation. In 75 years, we have not been able to significantly impact the lives of the common man. So why do you want to join the hordes of such people like me? Why do you want to join us?
No, ma'am. No, sir. I think the difference begin when people join and are excited to work in the field, and if they are able to contribute, it would create wonders because it is a system which need people who are ready to give to the society.
We all entered with these lofty ideas. But when the politician left, right and center pushes you from here to there, when you don't do their askins, all these ideals wither. And you become senile and cynic very soon. So why do you, have you consulted any senior people in service?
No, sir. I don't have a contacts in.
Have you seen the other side of the glamour?
No, sir. I'm not interested by the glamour in the civil services. I think what excited me about civil services is that its ability to reach out to people and work to address their grievances.
To their grievances.
Yes, sir.
So that motivates you, that ability
Yes.
to reach out to people.
Yes, sir. So I think you are able to bring a change, even if small, in the space you always desire to.
Okay. Now, you say that women-centric issues are close to you, right? And in your DAF, maybe it's the format that is given. You say your mother is a housewife,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
You are a student of commerce.
Yes, sir.
The moment you label a person as a housewife, you don't recognize her contribution to GDP.
Yes, sir.
Do you seriously think that her work needs to be recognized?
Sir, I think there was a report by Oxfam which says that the women contribution as a housewife contribute around 3.1% of the GDP. It was an estimate, but we do not have an appropriate measure for the same. But sir, I think it should be recognized because the male are able to contribute so much to the economy because there is someone who is taking care of their houses in the absence of them.
So, okay, if this is implemented, what will be the positive impact on your mother? Can you list a few things? about improvement in the personality of your mother or her outlook per se?
Ma'am, I think sorry, sir. I think the problem is we generally perceive that the women, if they are sitting at home, they're not doing anything. However, we forget that they actually work more than, if we see in terms of labor hours, they work more than men, like around 4 times the men in terms of labor hours. So I think the perception that a recognition is given to the housewife, it would increase their confidence in the public sphere also.
And will she get a bigger pie in decision making at home?
I think she still designed.
I think I should be wearing a wig with longer hair.
I'm so sorry.
No problems, Himani. No problems, Himani. I think that's perfectly all right. I'm just,
She's from LSRs.
yeah, maybe used to that. Anyway, okay. Now, my last question to you. There is a big talk that the remission has been recalled in Bilkis Bano case, right? What is remission?
So that the people were like released, the convicts were released of the Bilkis Bano.
Yeah. So, who does it? What is the remission? Under what law it is provided?
So the governor has the power to give the remission. I think it's a constitutional provided in constitution.
It's constitution.
So I'm not able to recall.
Not able to recall. Recall means you knew but you cannot recall,
Okay.
or you don't know. There is a difference in two things.
So I think I don't know.
You don't know.
Okay.
Okay. I appreciate that. If you don't know, you don't know. That's okay. Okay. Can you list just 3 important issues that women would like to improve at workplace?
Workplace?
Yeah.
So first of all, there has to be openness about menstruation, because many women find it uncomfortable in working in place. Then the sexual harassment at the workplace should also be addressed, and the the wage gap in the workplace needs to be addressed.
All right. Thank you.
Morning, Himani.
Good morning.
You said it's cold, huh? But this room is giving you sufficient comfort?
Yes, sir.
Good. Himani, there has been a talk among various quarters that one election, one nation, one election. And there have been pros and cons about this whole process and the whole idea. So what's your take on this subject?
Sir, I personally believe that in democracy and the election, the focus shall be what is important for the people. And I believe people find it easier to hold their politicians accountable when the elections are held regularly. So I don't believe that simultaneous elections are needed, but if possible, they can be considered in a way that they are able to streamline both the national and the state elections, but they also give people opportunity to hold their politicians accountable.
Okay, you come from Delhi and you had your education in Delhi all throughout. Now, Delhi of late has been grappling with the issue of pollution. Despite Supreme Court intervention time and again, things have faltered. Now, what do you think where the problem lies and what should be the solution?
Ma'am, I think, sorry, sir, I think we're focusing on short-term solutions, like the GRAB was implemented in Delhi, but we need long-term interventions to control the Delhi pollution. First is the vehicular emissions, which contribute largely, so we have to augment the public transport, and the EVs, we are moving towards EVs as well. Secondly, we have the stubble burning, and the interventions are needed so that the farmers are diversifying, and the technologies like happy seeder, etc., to ensure these waste is used to make energy instead of they are being burned. And finally, sir, I think people needs to be conscious as well, because we saw the violation of cracker ban in Delhi this time. So, sir, I think these are the things.
Okay, my final question, Himani. The fiscal policy of 2023, what is the cardinal or central theme on which it is hinging on, and what has been the aim of this fiscal policy, the target?
So
I'm not asking the features you will just mug it up and tell me. What is that aiming at?
Sir, no.
I'll pass on to you.
Mani, your academic background is quite strong, and we appreciate that in your first attempt you have made this level. You are interested in women-centric issues. Can you indicate what is the gender ratio at the national level? And probably you have a connection with Sikar, which is Rajasthan, in that state.
Sir, I'm sorry, I'm not at the details of it.
You are not aware.
No, sir.
With your background, why don't you consider academics as a better profession than going for civil service?
Sir, I think the civil service is more a practical field. In academics, we learn about things and we would be able to implement in civil services.
But don't you think higher education also needs quality instructors?
Sir, I think I can keep it as second option because civil services is unpredictable and after all the efforts, we don't know whether we get into it or not.
Okay. Any sporting hobbies you have?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir.
Okay. In your extracurricular data, you have mentioned child safety. Some competition was held and you did well. What is the priority as far as child labor is concerned, and how we should go about it? What are the deficiencies in the present policy, and any two good suggestions you would like should be included in the
Ma'am, I
child
think,
policy?
sorry, sir, I think in the child labor, the problem is that the financial condition of the parents push children into the labor. So we have to ensure that not only we are focusing on bringing children into the schools, but also supporting the parents in a way so that the children are not forced into child labor. We have policies in the child labor existing. Not able to recall the exact policies, but I think in the positive steps, what we can do is we should encourage NGOs which work for the child, like the Bachpan Bachao Andolan, and now we also need to rescue children who are victims of child labor. So I am able to recall this.
Can you name an Indian personality who got an international award in this field?
The Kailash Satyarthi.
Right. Thank you.
I have a question on child labor. What is the definition of a child under the labor laws?
So, like normal definition is that a child is below the age of 18, but for the labor laws, it said that the age below 14 they cannot do hazardous tasks, and in 14 to 18 they are allowed to do work, but not in the hazardous fields.
Okay.
Himani, what is the meaning of your name?
Himani means glacier.
Have you got some chance to see some television serials?
Recently,
Yeah, in the last.
no sir, I am not watching
Do
television.
you know about a TV serial called Kavya?
Yes sir.
Have you seen it?
So my father is fond of it.
So that is why you want to join the IAS.
No sir, he was probably fond of the episode because I am preparing.
How
for
will you
it.
compare yourself with Kavya?
So I've not watched it fully, but I think she take very like emotional steps many times. So I think she needs to take some practical view before she gets into
Okay.
it.
What is the power of your glasses that you are wearing?
Like it's 4,
What for?
-4.
What does it mean, -4?
So it's it's myopia.
Myopia.
Yes sir.
What does happen in myopia that you need to correct with your glasses?
So the size of the eyeball increases, so the image is forming in front of the retina and not on the retina. So it is corrected using the concave lens.
Concave lens, very good. Tell me, you have read sociology and you are interested in women-centric issues. As far as a sociologist is concerned, has the condition of women improved in the last 5 centuries
In sociology,
through the eyes of sociology?
so I think there have been many women movements which have raised voice for the women concerns, and we have seen an improvement. But sir, there's a lot yet to be done in the fields of women empowerment.
Tell me 2 major things which you see the changes, major changes in women's affairs from Victorian time to present day time.
Mama, I think, sorry, sir, I think, sorry, sir, can I think for a moment? So I think in terms of education, because we are really performing when it comes to the entry level, most of the women are getting education. Then another could be that there's a change in perception, because many of the rigorous rudimentary practices like sati and sati have reduced in India, and we also see widow remarriages nowadays.
I think you should go on to this issue and think a little more later on, study some more. Give me 3 government policies in the last 5 years which have impacted on you directly.
On me directly. So I think the NEP, because I was a student recently. Second,
NEP, National Employment Policy?
National Education
How
Policy.
has it impacted on you?
Sir, the change in the curriculum.
Has it helped you?
No, sir, but
It has not impacted on you directly.
okay. So I think the PM Awas Yojana.
It has not impacted on you directly.
Sir, it has, because
Family wise, I'm asking on you as a person.
So I'm not aware.
Digital technology.
Okay.
Payment that you do every day on your
Okay.
phone.
Yes, sir.
Many such things are there.
Yes.
All right. What do you get out of reading self-help books? What book has helped you in what way?
Sir, because what happens in self-help book is they give you perspective of your life, like in the terms of another person. So when you're able to look at your life from broad.
Tell me what has helped you. Give me an instance, an example.
So I think I was like a very short-tempered person.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. And I have grown to be a person who is able to reflect on
Which book has helped you manage your anger?
So the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, in which they mention that you are able to respond to what happens to you, and you can choose your response. Like rather than you need not to be the victim of the circumstances.
So when you get angry, what do you do now? You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up
No.
to 10?
No, sir. I think I just think about why the thing is able to incite me.
Last question. Though you have chosen IFS as your 4th choice, tell me what is happening in India-Maldives relationship today.
Today.
Today means these days.
Okay. So the Maldives, the recent election happens in Maldives, and with museum, which led the India Out campaign, has been selected. So there's a perception that it is inclinating towards the China, and which has impacted its relationship with India.
Okay.
And so recently the tourism conflict is going on, in which, so basically we are trying to promote tourism in Lakshadweep, which is taking a toll on Maldives, because they probably believe it will impact their tourism sector.
Do you have an idea how many Indian tourists visit Maldives every year?
No, sir. So, but I think it's a significant.
200,000.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, Himani.
Good morning, sir.
You just mentioned about a book, 7 Habits.
Habits of Highly Effective.
What are those 7 habits?
So first is be proactive. Second is, so I'm not able to recall. I read it like long back.
Okay, don't count serial wise, just randomly if you can recall of any. Two,
So
three habits.
one is begin with the end, form the habits, like sharpen your
Sharpen your.
saw,
Okay.
and so I'm able to recall.
Okay. Your father is a businessman, and your mother.
Is a housewife.
But you have mentioned your mother's income over here.
Yes, sir.
What's the source of this
So
income?
rental income. Rental income.
Rental income. Okay. Can you tell me what kind of GST challenges your father is facing in the business? What kind of business he owns?
So he's in building materials.
He's in.
Building materials.
So he might be using GST
Yes, sir.
definitely. So what kind of challenges he faces?
So I think he has to engage a CA for the same.
Okay.
And since he's a local shop, like not that great, so there's no digitalization that he uses. So he has to keep the record of all the invoices, etc. And I think like it's not related to my father, but my uncle got the GST notice. So I think GST notices are also increasing. So I'm aware of this one.
Okay. On a national level, what kind of challenges are we facing
In the
related
GST?
to GST?
So first of all, there are many things that are excluded from GST, like petroleum products, etc. So there's high price on these things. Secondly, so as I said, there's a rising notices that are GST, which is leading to slow. Like many companies are facing problem of filing it. Thirdly, sir, we're thinking of rationalizing the rates, but it is not yet done, and it's sometimes complicated, and it leads to inverse duty structure as well. So I'm able to recall this.
Okay. And your optional is sociology. Tell me, Himani, are you in favor of caste census?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give me reasons.
So because reservation is one of the affirmative action that the state has taken, and it's important that it is data driven. The caste census would help us to allocate the resources in the way that is able to bring that affirmative action into plan. So because the data we are currently using is like 98 years old.
Don't you think it will divide the society, which is already
So I
divided?
think it should not be politicized, while its data should be used for policy making, but it should not be politicized.
Okay. One more question from sociology. Can you tell me how different is South Delhi from rest of Delhi?
So South Delhi is generally seen as somewhat elitist place, where people elitist, and it was created like newly. The new Delhi was infrastructurally created very well. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Okay. Give me any random 2-3 sociological observations from South Delhi.
So there's differences because there are many rich people living there, and in the parallel you see slums and unauthorized colonies. Secondly, so I think in the unauthorized colonies, the women's we see women working a lot because they are employed as maids, drivers, etc. in the nearby colony. So it increases the women employment opportunity. So I'm able to.
Do you think the status of women is better in South Delhi as compared to rest of Delhi?
So possibly, I'm not sure about.
What can be the reasons for that?
So if I talk about the backward areas, it's because the women are more working there. And if I talk about the areas, the South Delhi's areas are much secure in terms of safety and the transportation system. So it ensures that the women are able to travel more safely.
Then how come a male to female ratio in terms of working in corporate sector, in other sector is just 3 to 10? And in Narega, we recently got 60% involvement of women.
So you mean to say that the urban women are not contributing when rural are?
No, I'm not saying anything. I'm just asking.
That the women are
Okay,
contributing
what can be the reasons why more women are involved in Narega as compared
in the
to in
informal
compared
sector? So I think because the women, like the sources of the families are not spent on educating and skilling of the women, which leads to they being not participating in the formal sector, the tertiary sector, which can give them more income. And since they are not that skilled, they contribute a major part in the informal sector.
Okay. Himani, you have mentioned about women-centric issues as well. Are you aware about feminism movement, feminist movement?
Yes, sir.
Are you a feminist?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you tell me the series of events related to India's feminist movement?
So it initially began with the man supporting the causes of women, like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, etc. Then it created another stream of women which were well educated. But the problem with this feminist movement was it was led mostly by the elitist women and from the upper caste. So slowly, it mostly reduced at the time of independence because the constitution was very much feminist and it provided most of the rights that we wanted. But however, in the 1960s, 70s, we saw a rise of feminist movement, second wave. The reason for the same is we saw a lot of regressive practices still existing in the society, like the sati and the dowry practices, which led to women demanding the same. And I think now we do not have women movement which is concentrated. We have it dispersed on the which is mostly issue based, rising nowadays.
You just mentioned about upper caste women, elitist movement. Who is more privileged, a upper caste woman or a Dalit man?
Or other?
Who is more privileged out of these two, a upper caste woman or a Dalit man? Who has the more privileges in the society?
So I think it's the upper caste women, because despite what happens beneath, like inside the doors, in the social setup, they are mostly encouraged rather than a Dalit man.
I have a lot to say. Thank you, Himani, but
All right. Mani, so we end our formal interaction with you,
Okay, sir.
right? And how do you think you have done?
So I think I've not performed well.
Why so?
So I think I'm not able to answer a lot of questions, and I should have read properly of whatever I've mentioned on my draft.
Okay. So tell me, is this your first mock?
Yes, sir.
And when is your interview?
So I have not received the date yet.
Okay. So you are lucky that you have a lot of time to prepare for that.
Sir.
So this is your first mock. So that's why sir could be madam and madam could be sir. No problems with that. Okay. And let me tell you.
Madam will never be sir.
Yeah, feminist. Ah, that's right. But she will be Madam Sir if she joins the,
Yes.
Yes.
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me tell you a few things since it's your first interview in the UPSC. You have cracked the exam. Congratulations for that. And this is your first mock, and you will be having several mocks, I'm sure. Well, must remember that during this personality assessment, we are not looking at your knowledge base, right? You have already done that was the job of the mains. You have done it. So it's closed. What we are looking at now is that how is this candidate? How will this candidate convert into an asset in the government service or in the civil service, right? And what are the OLQs, the officer-like qualities, right from walking and sitting in the chair and then interacting with us, whether you are easy, you are comfortable, you make your point cogently, you argue reasonably with reason, and you back up what you say, back up with your arguments, and there should seem to be conviction behind those, and the honesty of your arguments, the integrity of the whole thing. So that is what we assess, and we are not really bothered about whether you know about a thing or not. You are not supposed to know everything under the sun. There will be areas where you wouldn't know much, right? So, and also remember, there will be 3 areas from which all questions will emanate. As you rightly pointed out, your DAF. Go over the DAF. Ask your family or friends to prepare questions for you on your DAF. Then you will realize, oh my God, what I have written. And there could be so many questions on that. Then would be your subject. your undergrad subjects and the subject of your optional, right? There will be questions on that. And lastly, the questions will come from a very, very exhaustive basket, that is the current affairs. So there could be anything under the sun. You are not supposed to know, as I said, everything. And there would be one odd member who would try to put you off. Right? We may or may not. To see that how you perform under stress. So be ready for that. Being a commerce student and cutting a sorry figure on fiscal policy is not all.
Yes, sir.
When you say that you are interested in women-centric issues, then the gender ratio
Yes, sir.
and questions of female infanticide, you should be knowing those. And the issues of the gender issues, you should be knowing, right? And Madam Sir is an issue with you,
Yes, sir.
work on it.
Yes.
You'll be able to work on it. There are a few things that I would like to point out, that you butt in. Right now, you are not waiting for the panel members to finish their questions.
Okay.
Like when I was asking you question, I didn't want to throw you off balance, so I continued with your answer.
Okay.
But I could have changed the question and thrown you completely off balance. Let me finish my question. Don't rush in with you seem to know that answer, and then you immediately butt in and like he was asking you a question and you started speaking. No. And what happens? Yes, there are. You put one point and then you stutter, waiting for the other point to come into your mind. Better is listen to the question, wait for a moment, that moment will put your thoughts in order, and then answer.
Yes.
And secondly, you're a kid. I mean, you're a young girl. You are rushing in with your answers. You speak very fast. Slow down. Just slow down a bit. I think that would help you. You are sitting all right. You are interactive. A little more smile will do you no harm.
Yes.
And that would give you an impression of being relaxed. Are you going to go in the interview in this attire? This kind
No,
of
sir,
attire?
sir.
Or a
So it
sari?
was like an emergency. They called me yesterday only.
Okay. So a sari?
Yes, sir.
A sari and formal shoes?
No, sir.
Ah.
So I was running in metro, so I was shown.
No. Sari and formal shoes for the interview, main interview.
I've not planned the dress as of now.
Okay. So whatever you plan, it should be sober, nice, and it should be presentable. Now, my question was, why do you want to join the civil service? So you gave me, I want to serve the people. You know, sitting there, my response would be different. I would say India is at the cusp of joining the advanced countries. We are going to be a 5 trillion economy. We are going to be the front runners. Here is my opportunity to roll out the schemes of the government and later be part of the policy making to shape the future of the country. Which other service can give me that opportunity except the civil services?
Yes.
Right? Do you think it would cut more ice with the panel than your response?
Yes.
It would?
Yes, sir.
So you are very young. We are so glad that at 21 you are making it. So that's why giving you this input, keep in mind the wider role that a civil servant has, right? Think over it, and this question will come to you or may not come to you, but you should be prepared for it.
Yes.
Right? Thank you. If others have,
I have
yeah, please.
things to say. Would
Please.
you like to say?
Well, he summed up so nicely. All I can say is you were a young girl, you were cracking the first attempt. So since you're a date is normally announced and you've got a lot of time, introspect yourself, before the mirror, keep practicing it, you have the potential.
I forgot to mention one thing. Since you have time, prepare a question bank. 80 to 100 questions, A4 sheet, A4 size sheet. Write down the questions from your DAF, subjects, general affairs, and these will keep changing. You know, whatever new things come in, remove a sheet or add, or why remove, add one more. Don't write prose in that. Write only the points. The bullet points, they will stick into your mind and they will provide clarity of answering that question in a systematic manner.
Okay.
Approach it from an economist point of view or a science student. It's all 2 plus 2.
Okay.
It's not
Rocket science.
it's not flowery prose, right? Thank you. Yeah.
He has summed up everything nicely. I just want to add a few things. When you came in, you asked to be seated. You said, "May I sit down?" That's not on. You come, greet and stand, and chairman will ask you to be seated.
Okay.
All right? Because it is your first mock interview, I am giving you these feedbacks. The second thing, he has already touched on this, but the way you answered the question, why do you want to join the civil services, doesn't match with your options. If you want to serve the people, why put audit and account service as number 2? You're not serving the people directly. But when he says that you want to take part in the policy making, it is fine. You can choose any order that you want to choose in. Okay? Rest all, I have no comments. I wish you all the best, and I'm sure we will see you somewhere very high up. If your mains have been good, I have rated you very high, despite the fact that you have not been able to answer quite a few questions. And that answers the question. It is not a test of your knowledge. How do you come out as a civil servant? Alert, being articulate, being knowledgeable on your areas of expertise, being able to explain your point of view, all that. All the best to you.